In this video, I show you how this book kickstarted my healing journey. And in the end, I'm also going to try to give you some practical tips, so maybe it can do the same for you. Now, the weird part, this is not a book on nutrition or supplements or silent reflux, but it goes on a deeper level. Let's get into it. My name is Alexander. I've been suffering with silent reflux for over 2 years. Now I've been 10 years symptom-free. And I created this channel because I want the same for you. So, silent reflux. Everyone talks about food, medication, and supplements. Everyone talks about symptoms, but nobody seems to talk about the root cause. Let's address something deeper, something I call the invisible inputs. I've been suffering. For over 2 years, I had all these symptoms: hoarseness, throat inflamed, constant mucus, post-nasal drip, always mucus in the back of my throat, globus sensation, having the urge to swallow every time, and that weird noise in my ears. Month after month, I've been researching YouTube, I've been taking antacids, I've been using Gaviscon to protect my throat. This is actually really good. This was great in hard times. And I've been searching the forums everywhere for solutions. Even nutrition, obviously. I've been trying to adjust my diet. I've been looking into food. Supplements. 6 months in, it felt like I tried everything. But unfortunately, nothing seemed to help. And then the breaking point is not only that nothing seems to help, but at some point, also mentally, you feel like there's no way out, right? This is just who I am. There's no more hope to get healed, to get better. But at this point, I've tried everything. What else should I do? So this is something really devastating. On top of the symptoms, even the mental aspect. Until one day, in March of 2016, when I was almost exactly 2 years in, I randomly stumbled across this book on Amazon. It's from Dispenza. It's called You're the Placebo. And I really liked the concept. Because I felt like, yes, I need something to heal myself. I need to be the placebo. It talks a lot about how our mindset influences our biology. And this was something I might have been hoping for in the deepest corners of my brain, but it was not something I could understand or realize or even apply. So the fear is our body has immense healing capacity and it's always trying to support us. But we often ignore the signals. And with that, we work against it. And that happens a lot in silent reflux, right? We have all these symptoms and we think, man, why me? Why do I have these symptoms? Why is my body so broken? At some point, it becomes so much of our identity that we cannot even imagine a life without it. But after reading this book, I started imagining, actually, how would life be if I was healed? How would life be without silent reflux? And the sad part here, I could not even imagine a life anymore. And I couldn't remember how life was before. And I couldn't imagine how life would be without it. I felt really lost until this book moved something. If we want to change, we need to change our thoughts. And on top of that, combine it with the emotion. Our brain cannot differentiate between reality and imagination. First, it felt like always going down. It felt like so depressing. I was really in a bad state. But then I thought, okay, what if this is the switching point? What if I can imagine a better future? What if my body is able to adjust? We usually only think about the ingredients. Okay, what am I eating? Which medication am I taking? What supplements could I do? What kind of exercise could help? But our body reacts to state. Food is not the only input. Our identity being so prone to silent reflux is an input. This sounds quite skeptical, right? This feels like, okay, the symptoms are just imagination. It's all in my head. No, it's not. Actually, the opposite. This is science. Our brain influences our biology in many ways. The symptoms are there, we feel them. There's also a possibility to change those inputs. Our brain constantly sends signals into our body through the nervous system. There's a huge connection between how we feel, how we think, and our biology. When our thoughts and our emotions can change, that's how we change our biology. The real shift is change on an identity level. We build actions, thoughts, beliefs based on our identity. We're suffering, we have a disease, and our reality is acting accordingly. This 100% has an influence on our digestion, on our central nervous system, on everything in our reality. So this was the changing point. Imagine a new future that kickstarted my healing journey after reading this book. If you have the chance, get this book. I don't have a link or anything, but it's called You're the Placebo by Joe Dispenza. This book kind of saved my life. I was in a really bad state. I was kind of depressed. I thought nothing could help me. So to make this practical now, at some point, silent reflux is no longer just a symptom. It becomes part of our identity. So for the next 30 days, 30 days is important because it takes 30 days to change our subconscious. Take 10 minutes every evening before sleep. No phone, no distractions. This is the most important part. Put all your attention into it. Take 10 minutes and write it down. I want you to imagine a life without silent reflux. How would my body feel? How would your throat feel? How would your voice be? How would your mood every day change? Imagine that future completely healed. No more silent reflux. You're feeling great. You're doing well. Your throat feels completely normal. Imagine that reality for 10 minutes. How would you eat? How would you feel after eating? How would you approach having a meal? How would you move through the day? What things would change? Once more, imagine how would your life look like without silent reflux? And do not just think it. It's important to feel it. Because if we think a certain way but feel the complete opposite, it's always going to be the feeling that's going to win the battle. So really feel into it, okay? Because healing is not only about changing food or supplements. Sometimes it starts by changing the signal you send to your body every day. That was the big shift for me. That's how I changed a lot of routines. That's how I changed my approach to meals. That's how I changed my whole approach to silent reflux. I'm not going to tell you, okay, you do this for 30 days and you're going to be completely symptom-free. No, this takes time, but it's going to change your course in the right direction. That's the important point here. We're getting out of a mindset of, okay, this is me, I'm suffering, I'm never going to get out of it, into one of, I'm healing. I'm on the right path. Soon, I'm going to be completely normal. Diet, medication, supplements, they all matter. But this is the real foundation of everything else. So this book changed everything for me, not because it gave me a miracle cure, but because it made me realize how deeply I was identified. And this closes the circle here. I want the same for you. I want you to get out of this path into a new direction. With that said, stay tuned for more videos and I wish you all the best. Bye bye.